Hey, I'm DeYoung, member of the Teenage Advisory Board at the Howard County Library System, and I'm here today to go over the intro to programming in Python. And I'm also partnered with the chspyoneers, a school-based club, and our mission is to spread our passion for programming and inspire others to code. So hopefully you'll be inspired by this video. So without further ado, let's get started. So our agenda for today, we're going to be going over what is programming, benefits of programming, and we're also going to be introducing Python, which is a language that we're going to use, and Replit and other IDEs. Now, at first it might seem really complicated, but it's fine, I promise I'll explain everything. So let's start. What is programming? So programming is a process of telling a computer to do certain things by giving it instructions. Imagine me asking a friend kindly, hey, can you please give me that cup of water? And hopefully the friend will be a good friend and bring me the cup of water. So imagine that, but instead of telling your friend, you're telling a computer to do these things. And the collection of these instructions is called a program. And there are multiple languages you can do this in, including Java, which is pretty popular, Python, which we're going to use. There's other languages like C++, HTML, JavaScript, CSS, C, C Sharp, Swift. There's so many more for different variety of purposes, but we'll be focusing on Python for this course, so you don't really need to worry about anything else. Let's move on. So benefits of programming. Why should you program? So there's a high and growing demand for data scientists, software engineers, and much more across the world. Programming careers are, they're one of the most well-paid jobs, and they're the most sought-after careers. And some of these include data scientists, software engineers, machine learning specialists, cybersecurity specialists, or even hackers. And if you're gonna hack, please be an ethical hacker, which are people who hack legally, not those people that you see in the movies that hack illegally and like hack into bank accounts or whatever. Please don't be one of those people. But anyway, learning how to program can land somebody a job at a top tier tech company, and sometimes they're referred to as FAME, which stands for Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, or Google. Sometimes the A's are replaced with Apple, but you get the point. And these services, I'm sure you guys have heard of all of them. People use them every day. Even you, I'm sure you've probably used Google today at least once. And you can possibly be the person in the future that are actually programming the algorithms that are running all these, really nice services and websites. So that's pretty cool. With code, you can pretty much accomplish anything. And there are other STEM fields or even fields like business that can majorly benefit off of programming. I know some physicists and doctors who use programming every day to analyze data and do other things with it. So again, programming is very flexible. Even if you're not going to go into a computer science major, it's still very, very helpful for really any major. And also helps you to think. So it's very nice. So the language we're going to use primarily is Python. So Python is very simple and easy to learn, and it's what we call a high-level programming language, which basically means that it's more like English. It's very easy to read, very easy to write. Now the code to the right, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's something that we call assembly code, and it's very complicated. I'm sure you wouldn't have a single idea of what it does because it's very messy. You can't really read it. But however, the code on the left, over here, is what we call Python code. And Python is pretty clean. You can read it well, and you can have a general understanding of what it does, even though you might not really even know how to code. So there is not much syntax to worry about, like semicolons or parentheses. Not too much of that, except spacing. So Python stresses spacing because it's a very readable language, so it kind of flows like a English essay. There are paragraphs, sentences, all these things. So spacing is pretty important. And also, it's a very powerful language for such a small time investment. I know people who've only done Python for 6 months and have already full-fledged software engineer jobs. I myself I've only started seriously programming like a year before today or something, and I would say I'm a pretty decent programmer. So, you can learn Python really fast, and it's one of the best languages for beginners. And it's not only that, but it's also useful in so many fields like data science, AI, which is artificial intelligence, machine learning, which is pretty much the same thing. You can use it for business applications, or even back-end web development for websites. So you can do a ton of things with Python, and it's not a bad language at all. In fact, I'm sure way too many people consider Python to be the best language to learn right now in 2020 or almost 2021. So Python it's definitely a language worth, to learn and worth your time. So what we're going to do right now is go over Replit and other IDEs. Now IDEs stand for Integrated Development Environment. Now it sounds complicated, but let me explain. So basically what this is an application that provides necessary tools for program development or testing, right? So there are multiple IDEs, like multiple languages. So some popular ones are PyCharm, IDLE, Visual Studio Code, Atom, Jupyter, and Spider, and these are all for Python. There are other IDEs for different languages. So if you're ever programming, then usually you'll be using one of these IDEs. Now you can program on like a terminal or a command line or things, but usually people use these IDEs because they're pretty convenient. As you can see on the top right, that's a PyCharm IDE, and people use that to autocomplete code or debug their program. But for our purposes, we'll be using Repl.it because it's a hassle to download and go through all the I guess security checks for these IDEs. So for our simple purposes, we'll be using Repl.it, which is a web-based IDE. Some advantages of it is that it's really easy and accessible. It's on the internet, so you don't really need to like open up any application. You can just go to Repl.it. And also it has a multiplayer mode that if you ever want to program with friends, then you can always do that. And you can program with each other in real time. So without further ado, let's show you how to make a Repl.it account. So you can go here into Repl.it, and it looks like I've already tried to sign up here, but if you go back, if you go to repl.it, it'll take you to this website, and you can click the sign up button, and you can try to log in here with username, email, password, and once you fill out all these fields, you can press sign up, and it'll probably ask for like confirmation or whatever. But after you get all that done, you can log into your account. Now this is my Repl.it account, and here's what's really cool. You can click this button here called New Repl. You can click this and select your programming language. So we're going to use Python, so let's click on that, and you can name your program. So I'm going to name mine Tab Example, a tab for a Teenage Advisory Board, and then I can create the Repl. And this is completely free, unless you want to upgrade to Pro account, but you don't need to because Repl.it, the free version of Repl.it, it has so many great functions already, so you don't really need to buy anything. So here you have your files, and this main.py file is a file that you're gonna be running most of the time. Let me explain what this is. So here, this white area is where you write your code. This black area is where the results of your code is typically displayed in. It's also called a console. And here to the left are all the different files that you can make. And you won't have to be worrying about these files anytime soon. The two main sections we're going to be worrying about right now is this white section, which is where we write our code, and this black section, which is our console. So I can write a simple line of code here, and I'm not going to explain what this is right now. The next lesson will actually explain what this does, so tune in for that. But if I run this, so with this button here, it simply outputs whatever I want it to do here in this console. It can do something else like for I in range. And again, if you have no idea what I'm doing, completely fine. I understand. It's confusing, but we'll explain more of this in the future. So as you can see, we got more outputs here. So basically over the code you write in this white area, you can run it in this black area. That's really cool. So in the future lessons, we're going to be using Repl.it to go through examples and help you program. So make sure you make an account and have one ready to go whenever you view one of our lessons, just so you can practice along, because it's pretty helpful. So let's go back to our slides. So yeah, that's it. Thank you. It was a pretty fast video. So please look out for our future videos, because we're going to be teaching you how to actually program and not just get things set up. And please like and subscribe on this video and on our channel. And you can also feel free to follow our Instagram, which is at chspyoneers. You can also visit our website. The link is there. We may even link it in the description. And you can always email our club for any questions. We respond really quick usually, so feel free. And thanks for watching, and tune in for next time. Goodbye.